Many Kenyans say, I have a medical insurance cover. But when they get sick, they discover that it actually doesn't cover what they thought it would. Let's clear that up today in this video. Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas Ngeso Omeno. I am the founder of Insurance Growth and Advocacy Network, IGAN Africa, the CEO of Rock of Ages Insurance Agency. I help families, employers, business owners, and many other Kenyans to understand insurance in simpler and practical terms so that all of us can secure what matters most to us when life throws surprises our way. In the last video, we learned that life is like a jungle, full of hidden dangers. Some dangers scratch you and you recover quickly, while others are very serious. They knock you down and you require serious help to survive. In this video, I will give a practical explanation of the difference between an inpatient cover and an outpatient cover without using terminologies or insurance jargons. It will be practical, clear, and actually useful. Here is the simplest and the practical way to remember the difference between outpatient and inpatient. If you notice, the two terms, outpatient and inpatient, they both have one thing in common. Outpatient, inpatient. The common thing they have is the word patient. I want you to remove the patient in both. If you remove patient in outpatient, you remain with the word out. If you remove patient in the inpatient, you remain with in. So we have out and in. Out and in. So what is to go out? You walk out of a room, out of a hospital. And in, you walk in a hospital or a facility. So with that in mind, what is the difference between an outpatient cover and an inpatient cover? An outpatient cover is a cover that pays medical bills for a patient who visits a facility, get treated, and walks back home the same day. That same day. Outpatient. A patient walks in, get treated, walk back home that same day. Outpatient. They don't spend a night in the hospital. They walk in, they get treated, and they go home that same day. Outpatient cover. That covers every bill from the time you walked into that hospital to the time you walk out that same day. Now let's come to inpatient cover. We had removed the patient in the inpatient, we remain with in. So what is in? Is to walk into a hospital. You walk into a room, you walk in. So here is a patient who has walked in to the hospital, but their situation is so serious. The doctor cannot allow them to go back home the same day. They have to spend a night or two or a week or a month for them to be monitored closely by their doctor until such a time that the doctor will feel that now they have regained enough, they can go home. This is an inpatient cover. So, what is an inpatient cover? It is a cover that covers all your medical bills from the time you walk into a hospital. That is, if you have a serious situation that requires admission, you walk into a hospital, get admitted, you stay there a day or two or three or whatever number of days it is, or weeks or months, then you get discharged. On the day of discharge, you're given your bill. This is what you need to pay for the number of days that you've been in this facility. So the cover that covers that bill is called an inpatient cover. That is the practical and the simplest way to explain what an inpatient and an outpatient cover means. An outpatient, you walk in, get treated, go home that same day. An inpatient cover, you walk in, stay in the hospital for the number of days that the doctor says that for us, for several days or a day or two. You have to sleep, spend a night in the hospital for that cover to be called an inpatient cover. Outpatient cover usually covers small but frequent dangers. For example, you have a little flu, you walk into a hospital, get treated, and go home. You have malaria, there's a child checkup, or a normal hospital visit. So, in outpatient, you walk into a facility, you get treated, and go back home. Inpatient cover usually handles big emergencies, childbirth, maternity complications, an accident that requires you to spend a night or two at the hospital, ICU, surgeries, serious illnesses that requires you to stay a night or two at the hospital. Many Kenyans think their cover is enough. They have an outpatient cover, but no strong inpatient cover. When admission happens, that's when they realize they need to fundraise for admission. Some Kenyans sell assets. Some borrow from friends and relatives. Some Kenyans withdraw children from school. Some fundraise publicly. just to have their loved ones get admitted into the hospitals. So it's important that you understand the difference between an outpatient cover and an inpatient cover. It is very critical. And in most cases, when your underwriter or insurance agent or insurance provider gets you a medical quotation, you'll notice that the inpatient cover is always the limit for the inpatient cover is always very huge, from 200,000, 500,000 into millions. But when you look at outpatient cover, it's usually between 50,000 to 200,000 because it does not handle very huge medical bills. Inpatient cover handles very huge medical bills. That's why it runs into millions. For employers and business owners, insufficient inpatient cover can mean employee absence, low morale, or emergency cash pressure. Proper cover protects both the employees and the business effectively. If you're unsure whether your medical insurance balances both the outpatient and inpatient cover, DM me the word review and I'll reach out as soon as possible. If you're seeking for a medical insurance for the first time, for your family or your teams, I'd be glad to guide you through. Give me the word protect and I'll reach out soon. If you find this video helpful, if this explanation was helpful, please share it with others so that they may learn from it before facing unexpected medical bill. Thank you for watching and bye-bye.